Hey, there's some news for Nebraska football this weekend. Couple commitments in the portal. Dante Dowdell, the Oregon running back, which I think Sip is pretty excited
This
about.
is right up your alley.
This is your guy, the big horse from Oregon.
Well, he's a big running back. Yeah, I like that.
You've been high on this guy now for a couple weeks.
He could come in. He could come in and play.
Do you think he'll start?
Well, yeah, he'll have a shot. I mean, of course he'll have a shot. So, yeah, that's a big pickup. And then receiver's a good one, too.
Isaiah Nayer from Texas, the receiver, who, again, was very good at Wyoming. Went to Texas, he got injured, so he didn't play a ton. But Dante Dowdell, the running back from Oregon, and Isaiah Nayer from Texas, your newest additions to Nebraska football.
Yeah, they're in, and I think they'll get Banks, the Wake Forest receiver,
Jamal
too.
Banks.
Yeah, it's a very good shot today of that happening. Nayor didn't play he played one game the last 2 years. There's plenty of film on him. He's formidable. He had big numbers at Wyoming, 44 catches, 889 yards, I think, 12 touchdowns in a season. That gets your attention. They liked him at Texas. My brother's son is a UT alum.
Was he healthy this whole year?
No, it's unclear on that. I can't get a read on it. They were really high on him in 2022.
Hold it now, time out. You can't get a read on it. That makes
well,
zero sense.
I think he got
either he was injured or he wasn't.
I think
injured.
he was a little buried this year. A little buried this year. But they liked him. Sarkisian liked him. Got buried. I mean, they're loaded at receiver, Texas. So that's probably why he was in the portal. But he put up big numbers at Wyoming. He's good. I know you're skeptical. It's fine.
Me?
Yeah, I can tell. But he put up numbers.
I'm not skeptical either. I wanted to know if it was.
He put numbers up. I mean, 12 touchdowns in a season is legit. I mean, and I could see why. He is 6'3", 215. He's a guy you can go to in the red zone. I like him. I like Banks better.
What were his other trips that he took?
I don't know that. I don't know if he did.
Any other?
Yeah, I don't even know if he did take another trip. Banks is Purdue's on him, and Minnesota's on him, and Michigan's on him. But I think Nebraska's got him. I like Banks better.
The Wake Forest receiver, Jamal Banks.
Yeah, he's not as fast, but he's bigger. And he's played the last 2 years. I mean, he had 600 yards apiece in the last 2 years, and he's not like a burner. He's fast enough, but he's just a big, strong dude. And he's catching balls at Wake Forest against Florida State. I mean, he's good. He's legit. I hope they get them both. It'll be strange if they get them both, because Nebraska will actually have a receiver corps that looks representative of a Big Ten team.
What a strange thought that is.
Yeah, no, it'll look really strange to have two 6'3" plus guys together on the field.
Plus the big horse at running back.
Yeah.
Other trips that the wide receiver from Wake Forest has taken.
Well, I said he's Michigan, Minnesota.
Okay.
I don't know what trips. They don't say. They don't broadcast it. These kids, it's not like a recruiting when they're in high school anymore. They're grown men, and they don't publicize every move they make.
But
because they're kind of
hold it now. Time out.
I don't know what trips.
Both of those trips. You
could know what trips too if you would do your job.
I know, but I'm just saying both. But you can't say they don't publicize them when they both came on trips here, and it was publicized like there was over 500 articles written about it.
I don't know what other trips they make. So, I don't know that.
But they are publicized.
Some of them are. Yeah. Some of them are. I mean, there's guys that make trips that don't get out when they go to schools that don't have a 60 media cover.
A little extreme.
But yeah, no, I like them. I like them both a lot. They both look like they could start here easily.
Well, the other name that transpired this weekend is a coach. Dana Holgerson apparently is on Nebraska radar in some capacity for the coaching staff.
Yeah, I don't know what capacity. It could be everything from analyst to OC. We'll see how that shakes out. I guess it could shake out today. I don't know. But it was a thing. It's definitely a thing.
Dana Holgerson, of course, the recently fired head coach at Houston, former West Virginia head coach.
Great offensive coordinator. I mean, he was fine as a head coach. I think he was 20 games over at West Virginia, 20 games over 500. Went to Houston and it didn't work out this last year. But he was an offensive coordinator at Texas Tech. Houston and Oklahoma State, and good OC. I don't know if that's what he's coming to do, by the way, but it could be.
We don't know what the role is at all.
Could be an
for
analyst.
Holgorsen.
Could be an analyst. I don't know.
Do you expect to hear that he will be a part of the staff in some capacity today, tomorrow, this week?
I don't know that. I don't want to say.
Okay.
It's hard to say. I don't. Yeah, no.
The name Dana Holgorsen again didn't have a great campaign at Houston, but that's a guy
Not that bad.
but he is a very he's a guy that people think that's an offensive guru. He's had very good success over the years with offense.
Well, he had
different
ton.
spots.
Yeah, a ton of success
tons.
as a coordinator.
Isn't there an opening, Sipple, because of the tight end situation?
Yeah, I mean they have Josh Martin, who they elevated from an analyst job coaching the tight ends. They could move guys around. I mean, it wouldn't be hard to move Josh Martin back into an analyst role, maybe move Satterfield over to tight ends. There's various things you could do. I don't know what he's going to do, but there's definite talks with Holgorsen. Again, that could be he could just come as an analyst, high profile analyst.
I'm sure in his contract, everything is mitigated, right? I would imagine.
Yes.
So he's coming here. The Nebraska have to pay him a penny. He's
Right.
going to make the same amount of money.
So it works out.
Yeah. So it's a very good workable situation financially also.
I would think Holgorsen has some other options. So it's not I don't know that it's a slam dunk. Close though.
Yeah, it'd be odd if Holgorsen went from being a head coach to being an analyst in some capacity at Nebraska.
It happens though, right?
Sure.
It does. I think it'd be odd for
It
him.
happens. It happens. It'd be pretty amazing.
Would you agree it'd be odd for him?
If you were here right now, it wouldn't bother you. Know why? It's 40-some degrees outside.
He'd be
It's January.
comfortable. He'd be warm.
There's no snow.
Tomorrow
What do you
morning.
think, Steve Sipple? So when you bring in two wide receivers with accomplished numbers into a room that's very inexperienced, makes sense, right? Also, it makes sense with the running back room, but that's a very experienced room. People that have played a lot of, now they say played a lot, but a very experienced room.
It is.
So what is the vibe then going to be in that room?
I don't know. It's tough. You got to manage it.
That's a different one.
Yeah.
The receivers are kind of like, okay, we need guys anyway. We're short. We're down players. We're very young. We're still going to play. And so it's not, because receivers rotate anyway. It's not one of those things where you don't get in the game type of deal. So I just wonder, what do you think? What are you hearing on the street?
Well,
with the running back room?
Nothing right now, but it's always going to be, there's going to be challenges there. There was challenges there when Ron Brown, I can remember Ron Brown distinctly saying it's tough. You try to keep it in the room. You don't, but yeah, those kids all want the ball. They all think they're the best running back in the room. So
do you have an update on
but here's the question. In the Big Ten, there's not, how many instances are there of just one guy where you just say he's the guy and he's going to get it 28 times? You're not seeing that as much anymore.
No, you don't see it as much.
You don't. So you can spread it around, which they did this year. But no, it's not. It won't be good feelings by everybody in that room.
Because the major thing that happened this year was two major injuries. So that made it very simple for it. It's either gonna be Emmett or AG. That was it. It was those two.
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden all three of them, because obviously AG is gone, three of them are all returning and should be fully healthy, I'd imagine, by spring. Is that what
they're
you're
supposed
hearing?
to be. Yeah. So yeah,
I think first of all, I could care less.
Right.
Competition's the best. Always bringing the better players.
Yeah.
That's the number one goal every year is to get better players than what you currently have.
Absolutely.
And whether he's better or not, that's yet to be seen. But that's always the goal. So I'm all that I would never even flinch at that whatsoever. I just wonder, that will be one of those interesting when you roll in today into whatever it is a week from now into winter conditions.
Yeah.
There's a new guy there.
And a couple new a few new guys. January 14th is when they report. I mean, I think Dowdell and Gabe Irvin, I just like the picture of those two big running backs, 6'2", 218, 6'2", 225. And I think that's where you start it. And see where it goes from there. Irvin's got to he's supposed to be back. I think he'll be fine. And then you got Ramir. I like Ramir. I like Ramir. He's not a big back, but I like him because he runs hard.
Never really seen a fully healthy Gabe Irvin before at Nebraska.
Not very often.
It's unfortunate. I think he's been okay when he's ran, but we never had the ability to see him play a full season, right?